Hello, BookTube. A little out of practice here. I only belatedly remembered that we are opening mail again on this channel, at least temporarily. So we've got a few packages to look at here. That ought to be enough. There's no law that says mail hauls need to be 40 minutes long. So let's look. The first one is this one of these vacuum press things. Just very wasteful. I mean, it's very wasteful because it could be a manila envelope instead of all this extra cardboard that is the devil's own nuisance to fit for recycling. It's just, anyway. Oh, good. Okay, great. All right, you're just a tiny bit late. This is the finished copy of Tim McGrath's book, 3 Roads to Gettysburg, which we've seen already in the advanced copy, and which I just reviewed for Open Letters Review. I'm very happy to have the finished copy, though, because this is quite good. Well worth it. Well worth your time as a Civil War buff. The 3 roads are Abraham Lincoln, of course, and Robert E. Lee, but also George Gordon Meade, who was the Union general who beat Lee at Gettysburg. And of course, Gettysburg is an endlessly studied battle. It's 3 long chapters in this book, and it has all sorts of turning points and pivotal moments that are easy to overestimate. Like, for instance, one is that Meade was brand new to his command, hadn't been in command of the army a week, and of course, completely new to the circumstances of laying out troops on this uneven ground. He was familiar with the Pennsylvania landscape, but that only goes so far. He had faced Lee in battle before. Wounded right through his leg. Wonderful moment that McGrath captures really well is that his faithful manservant and a lot of the servants and friends of his back home had heard that he was killed in the Battle of the 7 Days. They'd heard that he was killed. And one of his favorite old manservant, his favorite old friend, was bringing all of his tackle and gear back to the home with the intent of giving it to the next of kin when Meade is there and alive. He was shot through the leg, through and through, so didn't break his leg, didn't need to be amputated, nothing like that. He had faced Lee in battle before, but not at the head of the disposition of forces. And one of the would-be little things in this book, of course, if you're writing an 800-word review, you can't get into any of this. But one of them is that had Lee's forces under Longstreet been content with a flanking maneuver on Meade's position, it would almost certainly have worked. It would certainly have driven them away and off the otherwise unbeatable high ground that they occupied. And Lee wouldn't do it. He wanted a frontal assault. And another pivotal moment, which is covered in this book, and of course because it has to be, because a third of this thing is given over to Meade, is that when Lee's army was shattered, when Pickett's charge happens and fails, and Lee that's it, we're done. We're not going to try again. We're done. We're going to just load our wagons of wounded and leave with a tail between our legs. When that happened, Meade let it happen. And he didn't need to. He had plenty of men. He could have attacked. Totally routed, captured Lee's wounded and baggage and whatnot, and captured Lee, which would almost certainly have ended the war. And he didn't do it. And afterwards, many of the minutiae of the battlefield of Gettysburg, including the flanking and the positioning and the whatnot, and also the failure to destroy Lee's army, were brought up against Meade all the time. He had to fight for his reputation for almost a decade after the battle. And McGrath captures a lot of that really well. Meade, and especially his long-suffering wife, who McGrath calls Margaret, even though her friends and family called her Margaretta. But she really stands out because Meade is drawn wonderfully here, but she's drawn wonderfully too as a sympathetic ear for him. Naturally, Lee and Lincoln are going to be more distant figures. Nobody's ever written a 10-volume biography of Meade, and no one's ever going to. So they're a little bit more distant, but this is still terrific. Popular history is still terrific. And it's also a perfect candidate if you've got that particular relative, a history buff uncle, a history buff grandfather, and you know You don't know all that they have or what they might want, but you know they're not policing the new release tables of the bookstore. If you know that about them, then they're not going to know about this book. And you should get it for them because it's terrific. It's a terrific page turner. So there you go. That's number one. That was a duplicate. So let's see here. Let's see what this next one is. Of course, I know perfectly well that I should link to my review. I should remember to do that. I should link to my review. I just wrote a review of this book. I will try to remember to do that. I am not very good at remembering to do that sort of thing, but I will try. So what is this? What is this next one? Okay. Oh, right. Oh, okay. This is by Ian Fraser. Needs no introduction, I would assume. Certainly doesn't from me. He's a terrific writer. Just terrific. And this is called The Snakes That Ate Florida. Reporting, Essays, and Criticism. And it brings us back to the bad old days of incredibly, ostentatiously ugly American covers. So let's hope, this is a galley copy. This thing doesn't come out until when? Mid-January. Let's hope they change it. So they've still got time to change whatever this is into an actual cover. So what have we got here? This book, the title of one of Fraser's personal favorite essays about the invasion of the Burmese pythons in the Florida Everglades, which I know a lot about now from an Instagram channel. I forget his name. I'm sure some of you watch him too. This guy that just goes out barefoot into the Everglades and catches Burmese pythons with his hands because they're an invasive species, so he wants to catch them all. Is filled with selected pieces on nature, history, politics, urban culture from a master of the nonfiction narrative. Writing on subjects as divergent as the mega fires that burned the grasslands of the Great Plains in 2018 to the tragic secret life of the manufacturer of maraschino cherries, the world's largest beaver dam, and life in Russia in the early days of the Putin regime, Fraser captures the multiplicity, the strangeness, and the wonder of contemporary life. This collection of pieces, consisting of features and reportage for The New Yorker beginning in 1974 with Fraser's first Talk of the Town piece at the age of 23, articles on topics such as COVID and rereading Lolita 50 years later, and the works published in the last year, showcase a wide-ranging play of Fraser's imagination. Great. I'm glad you're calling them pieces. There are no essays in here. This is just what I do. This is just deadline prose. Only much, much better than I could ever do it. Well, fantastic. Okay, so this is going to be a big collection of his nonfiction. Probably a lot of this stuff I have read, because, he's a great writer. He's terrific, so I never miss him in the New Yorker or anywhere else. I never miss him. Yeah, see? There you go. You got a cover right there. There you go. Let's hope so. Let's hope it happens. Okay, well, I've already gone through this with my guest. If you're going to leave the clever title of whatever your editor decided to call the piece, put in parentheses what it's actually about. So when I'm glancing at the table of contents in 10 years, I don't have to wonder what Kim Williams or even more. Well, no, Kim Williams is easy to understand. But like, for instance, Scratch and Sniff, I have no idea what that essay is about, and I'm going to want to know at a glance. So I'm going to have to go through this and annotate the table of contents. But this is great. Fantastic. Okay. Well, it's very tempting. I won't read it, of course, because it's next year. But that's fantastic. Okay, we're doing fine. Now we'll do the last package, and then we'll be done. A little brief mail haul to keep us informed. What is this next one? What have we got here? A finished copy of some kind? Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, this is the finished copy of a book that we've already seen. So you're out already, are you not? Oh, look at how chatty you are. Let's find out here. I don't need you. What are you going to tell me? No, 2nd of December. Okay, so this comes out in just a couple of Tuesdays. This is by Bernard Cornwell, the great Bernard Cornwell. This is Sharp Storm, the latest Sharp novel. Again, with an ugly cover. Featuring Richard Sharp, has been beloved by readers and reviewers for decades, even spawning a television show starring Game of Thrones Sean Bean. Come now. Yes, Game of Thrones Sean Bean, sure, but come now. It's Lord of the Rings, Sean Bean. Okay, not Game of Thrones. Uh, the reappearance of Sharp in Cornwell's book Sharp's Assassin from 2021, which we saw on this channel, was praised by critics, including Booklist, who marveled. Cornwell steps back into Sharp's world as though he'd never left it. So it is a great fanfare that we bring out another Sharp book this fall. The year is 1813. France is a battlefield and winter shows no mercy. Amidst brutal conditions, Major Richard Sharp finds himself saddled with an unexpected burden. Rear Admiral Sir Joel Chase, dispatched by the Admiralty with sealed orders, unshakable confidence, and a frankly terrifying enthusiasm for combat. Sharp's mission from Wellington is clear, yet anything but simple. Keep Sir Joel alive. Sir Joel could hold the key to defeating Napoleon once and for all, but to pull off his audacious plan, he needs someone who knows how to fight dirty, think fast, and survive the impossible. He needs Sharp. Fantastic. Okay, well, I got this a while ago and I have not read it, so now I have the finished copy, and it's this year, and it's right around the corner. So this will go on the pile for tonight. The Three Roads to Gettysburg definitely will be a reread, but not anytime soon, because I just studied it in order to review it. And the Ian Fraser book goes on the hopper, because I'm not going to read it until next year. So there you go. We did get in a little fiction after all. So there you go. That is a little mail, not 40 minutes worth, but still it will keep the ball rolling. Certainly didn't need any food for thought this time around. So I'll wrap this up, and we will see what we find in the next delivery. Thank you, BookTube.